Would these tribal aesthetics still be visible? And if so, how would they be revealed? Do you mean a link to a recording of the interview? I would like to see that recording, because I missed the live stream. Every state has a whole or a largely unregulated zone that operates both inside and outside of state space. It's equipped with its own laws and means to carry them out, declared or otherwise. Often what you hear about these places is that they're supposed to work better in some way, optimized to do something specific very well with the least amount of friction. What becomes very clear early on is just the sheer abundance of violence these spaces produce. Drug wars and economic free zones alike indulge in the joys and terror of speed. The question then becomes how to orient yourself in this terrain. Or, how to reintroduce friction back into what the state believes to be serene. If sovereignty is determined not by who runs the law in its normal state, or overseas, but which powers are able to exert decision-making status over exceptions. Or in other words, after the decapitation of the head from the rest of the body. The question is then how to deal with the hole that is left behind. Take as an example the obscure extreme sport known as competitive overclocking, where teams battle it out in smoked-out techno arenas to produce the fastest computer hardware speeds. Every field has its enthusiasts. What I've learned by going to such overclocking events is that it's not really about trying to get more performance out of your machine anymore. That's long dead. For me personally, it never made a lot of sense why someone would come in and test graphics cards with liquid nitrogen and blow torches because you can't use this in your natural environment. It finally hit me. This is basically just a giant state-funded R&D party. A gaping state hole. Of course, these things aren't practical for home use, but the information that Galaxy and Nvidia and Intel are gonna be getting from this is gonna be invaluable when it comes to developing next year's products. Sometimes when overclocking you need to lubricate, you know. Be Vaseline friendly, get in there real deep like. You don't want to go in rough. Make sweet sweet love to your motherboard. Fucking take both hands and lube up, boy. I found that these tribal aesthetics were built into the design of the very objects that make all kinds of digital renderings possible. The graphics cards, whose task is to rapidly manipulate and alter memory to accelerate the creation of images. Intended for displaying graphical data with high clarity, color, definition and overall appearance. At first glance these aesthetics are found in the industrial design that encases the printed circuit boards. With all these aggressive lines trying to appear mythical and weaponized. It's supercharged with claw marks and fangs like some primal beast overclocked to spike an enemy, overwhelming its ability to regenerate or self-heal. Top-tier graphics cards like this one are what make high-resolution renders possible. The fans serving as a way to prevent the processor from overheating as it experiences massive data overload. The hot air coming out of the exhaust is like an imprint of that data. But there could be furthermore unseen ways that these tribal designs are embedded within graphics cards. Some other tribal understanding that is embedded within them. That would make tribals totally integral to the experience of producing these kinds of images, in more psychological or emotional terms rather than exclusively visual. Gaming aesthetics may be a niche example. But the basic principle of heat dispersion through the use of fans is in every laptop or desktop. Everyone's computer heats up. All computers require air. It makes me think strongly of the process of casting. When you have something that is being cast, you also cast the space that surrounds it. If we think the air is coming from the fan which runs to prevent overheating due to data overload, is the air full of data?